Okay, well, that made it easy because now we are right at the time to move on to our next panelist, which is Svetlana Yashchuk. She is a candidate of psychological sciences, associate professor at the Brest State University, and she'll be speaking about the psycho-emotional well-being as a complex and integral indicator of the quality of life. Please, Professor.
Уважаемые участники третьей международной научной конференции, мне хочется
I would like to congratulate us on the beginning of this conference, where I'm a participant for the first time. And this is a wonderful conference that answers the question of the entire humanity about how to resolve the global questions and challenges through the integration of society, science, and culture, and how to ensure a life, quality of life in the future world, which is so unstable and unpredictable. And I'm grateful and glad to see such people in this gathering who are aimed at searching solutions to how to make this world a better place. And I want to start with the words about love. Love is like alchemics. Love is the healing tool. Love cannot live in egoism. Love is what all alchemists are searching. Love is what creates life on earth. Everyone should go the path towards the absolute love, because love is what connects, revives, and gives meaning to all, and unites the entire world. These words to my life are extremely important, and as well as to the people whom I interact with. For the recent 40 years, I've been working as a teacher, as a professor at the university. I teach psychology, and I'm involved in all kinds of activities, not only as a teacher, but also as a researcher. And I'm questioning, I'm researching such global questions as to how to organize the life of a human being in society in a proper way. And these questions are especially important nowadays when the life of an average human being is so unsecure and unpredictable. Everybody wants to be happy and organize life in a quality way, but it is more and more hard to figure out how to accomplish this. A lot of important researchers like Fromm and Laszlo and many others have been paying attention to these questions, and in general, they come up with two conclusions: that for the quality of life, we need two things: psychological safety or security of the environment, and psychological stability of a person. So, in order to ensure safety to a particular person, the social security in the surrounding environment is required. But if we just take a look at the reality of nowadays world, we will see that there are lots of global factors that make it unsecure and break this condition of social security, including the pandemic, including wars, tyrannies, and so on. So the second trend, or the second aspect, is the psychological security of a person. and the previous participants have been talking about the importance of environment that surrounds a person, that is supposed to provide resources to a person. But besides the environment, there is also the personal life or internal life of a human being. And in order to ensure the quality of life of a human being and internal stability, again, a person has to be in a proper connection with the surrounding environment. And how can it be how can it be healthy quality if most of these interactions only promise hurt and injury? Currently, we have a generation of people who are tired of life, insecure, uncertain about the future. And if we look at this problematic as a fact, we observe a person who has no resources of his or her own, has bad connection to the environment, has no inner or outside stability. Such person is doomed to struggle to survive, doomed to see a decline in the quality of one's life. And what we have at the end of the day is the fact that we have each has an environment that would be supposed to provide the resources for quality life, and at the same time, and it doesn't, right? And at the same time, the person finds him or herself in front of nowadays in front of the condition where he doesn't or she doesn't know where to turn to, whom to run to for help. And going deeper in trying to understand the reasons why a person suffers is the emotional sphere. The most popular emotion, or the most common emotion that people demonstrate and manifest when they turn to a specialist for help, is fear, anguish. And nowadays it's very common for people to be to be unsatisfied and unhappy with the way they feel, the way their emotional sphere works. And the researchers in this field note or point out that nowadays a human being becomes more and more insecure or vulnerable in the vulnerability is related to the emotional sphere mostly. And we've been, with our colleagues, we've been paying a lot of attention to the ways to support emotional stability or security of a human being nowadays. So every person has many aspects in life, including intellectually explainable, but what we really can provide support to and what we can ensure for any person, no matter what his or her social status and his the things he does or she does in life, is namely the emotional sphere. And we find that the things that we do, the way we act, the results we accomplish, all depend on the way we feel. Meaning, emotional sphere has a very powerful impact upon all the results that we get in life. Besides that, any problems in emotional life can have a very devastating and very powerful negative impact upon all the corporeal, material, and intellectually results that transpire in intellectual sphere. For example, from showed that no matter how hard the conditions the person finds himself or herself in, emotional stability can ensure survival. What we've come up with is the system of conscious transformation, conscientious transformation. So we've built a model, and and it's based mostly on the existential and quantum psychology, and currently we have a very special interest for integration or integrative psychology. I think with that we will be able to broaden it and reinforce it or make it stronger with using all kinds of different methodologies. In the center of our model is what we have defined as rules that we can use in the process of tuition, or no, not tuition, of education. The first rule that we have been learning is being present. A person should be present in the moment and live the moment through by ways of managing one's attention. And this is the second rule. If you want to walk, walk. If you want to take something, take it. If you want to, and so on. Don't get dispersed in thousands of actions and activities. And don't let the chaos take over you. And as soon as the person starts being focused, he or she starts getting involved in all activities fully. And the third rule that comes from it is the rule of being conscientious, be conscious about what you are. These rules allow or help the person to get back to the self. The being conscious about the world helps the person start understanding and feeling how his or her emotions actually work, what the principles are that guide the person in life, and how and why the person finds him or herself and in this and that situation right now. We realize by now that a person's life is managed by a lot of cues and reasons and processes that are not noticeable and on the surface, but they have a very great impact upon a human's life. And some of them can be coming from deep childhood and not be conscious at all. Once the person realizes or becomes conscious about those, aware of those elements, his or her life starts changing, sometimes dramatically. And I think that even those who are listening now realize that in our life we have situations when we are happy, glad, uplifted, everything goes well and comes out good. If we are oppressed or depressed or anything, any other bad feeling, we get worse results. Another aspect of those same three rules and their usage is becoming responsible for every way you feel at every moment. The program that we have developed, the educational program that we have developed, consists of 6 modals, and at each step, at each modal, we work with people, helping them become aware, become conscious about his or her internal world, not only to understand the world around the person, but first and foremost, to understand the world inside the person. A little by little, on the course of our education, the person starts internalizing some rules, a set of rules that help him or her realize that such good things as happiness, joy, love, understanding, or compassion can be brought about to one's life on one's decision, meaning it's he or she who is empowered to decide what his life will be filled with. And it's very important. Another thing that we help people to realize is that it's very important to be responsible for one's life, meaning all the activities, all the emotions one feels, all the outcomes produced by those actions and emotions. Every activity is regarded as a investment that can produce corresponding results. Another another rule is the rule of reflection. We have already heard here today that your surrounding influence impacts what you will be getting, what you will be feeling. Besides that, we learn the rule or the law of energy, the presence of energy that manages all in the world, and we have not learned how to measure it so far. So, to sum it up, what we are actually doing is working with groups and teaching them all these things, and we also research the people who study with us and observe the fact that a person can bring about any change he or she wants in his or her life if one starts working on oneself. And the main thing in the very center of this process of change, as we find it, is love. The notion that I've started this presentation with. Love cannot ruin anything. Love only builds, and it helps one to realize the world as one whole and be aware of the wholeness of the universe, and becomes the basis and the foundation for happy, aware, and abundant life. Once our life gets filled with this feeling, this attitude, it becomes happy. So what I have presented to you today is the outcomes, or some outcomes of our practice, of our activity, me and my team, and we can we're certain that we can implement all the same methods and get all the same outcomes in any place in the world, because our team consists of people who are who are based in all different locations around the world. I'm very grateful to the organizers of today's conference for making it possible to talk about these important things and share experience and share our outcomes, and share what can be accomplished just if we pay attention to these foundations, such as love, responsibility, and all the things I mentioned. It's very important to have you, and it's very important to have for us to have each other. That people who are really aware and really caring about development and bring about change in the world. It doesn't matter what your profession is. Your main profession is the human being.
Thank you very much, Professor Yashchuk. We have time for one question, so we will go straight to Professor Eliav, please.
Мы переходим к профессору Eliav.
Большое спасибо, Света, за такую очень интересную и эмоциональную презентацию. Я бы хотел бы узнать, является ли ваша методика частью академического...
Like to ask if your method is a part of your academic course that you give at your university, and if so, if there are any scientific publications or articles, papers that you have published based on it, and how many people have already gone through this program. Thank you for the question. So we have only started our practical implementation path. We have been moving towards it for a recent 10 years, but thousands of people have been already through elements of this process. But currently, we are leading a group of several tens of people. Let's say 40 graduates are going to be in the nearest future, and we'll let you know the results. And as for the methodological publications or papers, we're also working on them, and you will know about them when they're published, of course. And the main thing we think is that people who go through our education become more stable, more happy. They realize their life in a more proper way. They start living full lives, having all they really want to be there. Even healthier. Only 2 people from the course caught COVID-19 and went through it very lightly. We also have some plan or idea or desire to use more precise technique, or more precise tools to measure the changes. It is very hard to decide how to measure the change of state, the change of emotional status, so as to show the real possibility and power of the method. I hope that I've answered your question.
Thank you very much, professors. We'll have to continue right away with our next speaker.